Well, good morning. I'm meteorologist Sean Marshall, and folks, we have a dire situation here in Louisiana, and I just want to start off this update. This happens maybe a handful of times in one's lifetime, and I do school weather assemblies throughout the tri-state area, and we talk about whether in person, do it safely, or virtually, why these monsters form. So if you're interested, contact me for some school weather assemblies. That is my company. But we got to get into this right now. And what is happening is we have a buzzsaw in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see the really dark shades of clouds. That eye of Hurricane Ida, as of this broadcast, is a Category 4 with winds of 150 miles an hour. It is moving to the northwest at 14 miles an hour. Folks, this thing exploded overnight. Incredibly rapid intensification occurred in the Gulf of Mexico in the last 12 to 24 hours. Honestly, I did not think that this storm would intensify as forecast by some of the models out there because it was just lagging, but it is happening right now. Storm is about 80 miles off the Louisiana coast as we speak. This is a classic textbook hurricane, Category 4, moving toward Louisiana. And how we look at these things is we take a different view, either the satellite or the radar. And this is the latest visible satellites. I took a snapshot. And what we're seeing right now is the eye of the storm located about right there. There's New Orleans. This is at about 10:40 in the morning on Sunday. So folks, the next update from the Hurricane Center comes out at 11 a.m. Will it be a Category 5? Has it weakened a little bit? At this point in time, it really doesn't make that all much of a difference because the northern eye wall is skirting the southern Louisiana coast as we speak. They have an extreme wind warning in effect for the counties. And this map is pretty good here because it shows you the outline of the marshlands and the bayou areas of southern Louisiana, that some of this area is under sea level. So the surge is going to be between 10 and 20 feet. New Orleans, you are going to be on the right-hand side of this landfalling system. And that is not good because we do know that obviously with a forward motion, and if you're in the right-hand quadrant, front right-hand quadrant, that is the most intense part of a hurricane due to the Earth's rotation and all this other stuff that we're not going to get into right now. Yes, Grand Isle is getting destroyed right now, folks. I do see your comments. I'm going to show you the latest radar. Again, this is time-stamped around 10:30. Here is the mouth of the Mississippi River. There is New Orleans. There is Hurricane Ida. The eye is about 10 miles in diameter, and this thing is coming ashore in about, let's say, 1 or 2 hours, the northern eye wall. Again, as a strong Category 4 hurricane with winds of 150 miles an hour. That could change up or down with wind speed as we get new information. Obviously, this is before the update at 11 a.m. that comes out of the National Hurricane Center. But you can see the eye wall right there. Those areas of red, folks, that is sustained winds of 150 miles an hour, gusting up to 175. And this is moving right into southern Louisiana through this afternoon. It is going to Godspeed to the people of New Orleans and southern Louisiana. That's all I got to say right now because this thing, it doesn't have much time to do any weakening if it is doing that at all or more intensification, okay? Because it only has an hour or two before it makes landfall. And they are just getting hammered. I just hope New Orleans is prepared for the worst and hoping for the best because they're going to get that onslaught of incredible winds out of the east because these areas down here, folks, in the marshlands, really it will weaken, but it won't weaken as it would be coming into, like, let's say the mid-Atlantic, and because the terrain is different. They're not if this thing's not going to go from a 150 mile an hour hurricane at 3 o'clock to a 75 mile an hour hurricane. It's just not going to happen. It's going to weaken a bit slowly until it gets into areas just west of New Orleans and it stays over land a little longer. Okay, this is an unfortunate situation. The last time a Category 5 hit the United States was Hurricane Michael, and that was in 2018, and that hit the panhandle of Florida Mexico Beach with 160-mile-an-hour sustained winds. But I think that storm was classified a Category 5 after the fact, meaning they looked at the damage and the surveys team went out there and upgraded from a 4 to a 5. I'm not positive about that. I do know Camille, back in 1969, these storms are just entrenched in my brain here, did come ashore as a Category 5. Yes, I'm just reading your, will the remnants come through New Jersey? Now that's the big question here, and it will. The question is, how much of it will? And we're going to try to answer that momentarily, but all I want to say is this storm is so dangerous and so intense, and I just feel for those folks in Louisiana. I don't know what happened with the evacuations down there. I heard some rumblings. Not going to get into all that. I think you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully everybody's secure, need to be where they need to be right now, because they're having winds right now with that eye coming ashore in a couple of hours, over 121 miles an hour. That was the report that I got just a couple minutes ago. It was an elevated station, but they're going to get raked. Totally raked. Levees, can they hold this? Can they support this? We hope they can. Okay. Now, what is going to happen is Ida will weaken as she moves into Louisiana. And yes, our first responders are down there from New Jersey. I'm reading your comments right now. You're welcome about me updating you. That's what I'm here for at John Marshall Weather, JMW. What's going to happen is this storm's going to weaken once it hits land over the next 12 to 24 hours, become a tropical storm. And folks, the jet stream's going to pick it up and throw it through the Appalachians. And let me show you a radar loop right here, okay? Not a loop, expected rainfall right up the Appalachians. We're not going to see the high winds, but unfortunately, here's the metropolitan area. It gets entrained with that jet stream, and I'm incredibly concerned about the potential for flooding in the New York City tri-state area. Folks, our rivers, our streams are near bankful, or they're very high. We had an unprecedented amount of rain this past summer. The ground is saturated. We all know that. We do not need any more rain. Close up. Again, this is for Wednesday afternoon through Thursday. So we have 3 to 4 days to watch this. Where does this axis of heavy rain set up shop? Now do not take this verbatim, all right? Do not. There will be an axis of heavy rain like this. Is it south like that? Is it pushed farther to the north? Time will tell. But we have to be monitoring the situation, because if we get 2 to 5 inches of rain, there's going to be some issues in the New York City metropolitan area for Wednesday evening into Thursday. Okay, so just be aware that's the time frame. I'm reading your comments. This looks, since it's hitting New Orleans on the worst side compared to Katrina, that'll be not just rain but extreme wind and a rain event. And you're absolutely correct. Katrina came in to the east of New Orleans. They got flooded out. But this storm is going to come perilously close, or just west of New Orleans, which we talked about. That front right side is the worst part of the hurricane. And I'm going to see if the update came in just now. Just give me 2 seconds, folks. We're going on a whim here. Let me refresh this. Nothing yet to see where we are with this system. So, in a recapping, a devastating situation down in southern Louisiana as this powerful hurricane Ida moves toward the coast. The northern eye wall, again, the radar is from about 10:30. There's the northern eye wall. There's the extreme winds of 150 sustained around that 10-mile diameter eye. Stop and just say a prayer today. This is unfortunate for them. And for us, as I said, the rainfall will come up the spine of the Appalachians. Where that heavy axis of rain sets up will determine how much rainfall we do get. Okay, I appreciate you guys following me. You can always get an updated forecast at johnmarshallweather.com. And again, I do school weather assemblies, and we talk about why hurricanes like this form and how can they get so intense. Appreciate you guys. Keep it here, okay? Have a great Sunday, and say a prayer. Take care. Bye.